Hello everyone, back to today's second video. So we're in a 5-day forecast. You can find it here on the home page. Just scroll down the page a little bit and it's above the pollen count. There's also a written version. You get to that from the buttons at the top of the page. So all eyes are on the heat wave to begin with, of course, which is going to be peaking around now, and then it'll be out of the way tomorrow. Going to start to cool down. And that's going to take us into a cooler weekend. And then we're going to pick the storyline up for today's second video and extend out through the course of next week beyond the 5-day forecast period, which is looking increasingly unsettled. Looks like it could be in for a really unsettled spell coming up next week as we close out June. So it's been quite an unusual June, really. Started off very unsettled, of course, with those strong winds and heavy rain at the start of the month. Then we've had this very unusual heat wave over the past few days. Looks like we'll be closing out the month on, as we started, on quite an unsettled and cool note. Just starting with the heat wave though, and as I say, it's peaking today, so the highest temperatures are down in the southern part of the country. So at the moment, this is the website xcweather.co.uk, by the way. At the moment, we're seeing the maximum temperatures at Lynham there at around 31 degrees. Boston Down is at 31 degrees. Farnborough is at 31 degrees too. London Heathrow is about the highest I can find within the UK at 33 degrees. One observation down across France is showing 34, but for the UK itself, still at 33. We're trying to get to 34 degrees, I think, to get our hottest June day since 1976, since the prolonged hot summer. Whether we quite do it or not, it's going to be very touch and go. It's 3:30 when I'm recording this. We may have another half an hour or so of warming to go, so we might just do it. But at the moment, we're just a little bit short of having our hottest June day since 1976. Although, don't get me wrong, it's a very, very warm, very hot afternoon down across the south. We'll have a look and see whether we've got any thunderstorms kicking off as well. So let's go over to the weatheroutlook.com. This is the radar picture from the Weather Outlook, and we can see that there's some very vibrant colours up across Scotland. Actually, that's where the heaviest rain is at the moment, through central and western parts of Scotland. A few showers getting going there through North Wales in towards the North Midlands, over towards Lincolnshire as well. Let's see if there's any lightning flashing away. Overall, not a huge amount happening actually in terms of precipitation just at the moment. So if we do that, we can see that we have got quite a bit of lightning across the west of Scotland, but otherwise not much kicking off just yet. These storms may develop through this afternoon and into this evening through this central swathe of the country. But down in the south, interestingly, we've got the highest temperatures, probably not having too much in the way of thunder. Through the course of tomorrow, however, there might be some more showers getting going in the southeast, so maybe you get some downpours tomorrow morning down across East Anglia and southeastern parts of England. In any case, the heat wave is more or less on its way out now. So this chart is the GFS ensembles for the next couple of weeks. The red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average. This is where we are right now. We're almost at 20 degrees Celsius at 850 HPA. That's a very high level for this early in the summer in terms of the upper air temperature. So no wonder we're almost having a record-breaking June heat wave. As I say, it's downhill all the way from today, so you can see the ensembles are trending downwards. So by the time you get through to the end of the week, which is just here into the weekend, we are finding the temperatures going quite cool. Now, next week, early next week, they do pick up a little bit, warms up a bit, but that is in association with low pressure. So it's a very different type pattern to what we've got at the moment. That's going to be associated with much more unsettled conditions. As we go through to this first week of July, which is this period just here, actually the temperatures are going below average, so it looks like it's going to be quite a cool start to July. And in terms of precipitation, not too much over the next few days, so there could be these thunderstorms through central parts of the country tonight, perhaps a little bit more in the southeast tomorrow. Well, it's not a huge amount, but into next week the rainfall spikes really are coming back there. Looks like it's going to be a much more unsettled week coming up next week. Temperature anomalies are warmer than average for the next week. This takes us from the 21st through 29th of June, above average temperature anomalies, although returning nearer to normal, particularly so for the north. Precipitation anomalies are average to above average. These have been trending wetter through the week. They may continue to do so, but by the time we look at these at the end of the week, it could well be that we're in for quite a wet week ahead. The temperature anomaly in America is quite interesting. Real east-west splits. In the west, it's very significantly hotter than average over on the western side of the states, but through much of Central and Eastern America, it is significantly cooler than average. A real cool summer so far across many eastern parts of America, certainly cooler than average. Precipitation, so where it's hottest, it's also driest out in the west. Southern parts of the states, quite interestingly, are looking wetter, including parts of Texas as well, which is quite unusual at this time of year. It's more indicative of what you would tend to see with a developing El Nino type pattern. But generally, the north and the west of the states is a bit drier, southern states a little bit wetter. Back close to home, then, this is the situation for Friday, for Sunday, I should say. We've got low pressure to the northeast of Scotland, moving away. Taking some quite strong winds with them on Sunday morning across east of Scotland and northeast England. This leaves us with this westerly wind coming through. It will be a mainly dry weekend down in the south, but there can't be, we can't rule out the chance that there could be some showers at times. And if you're interested in Glastonbury, I'll be doing the final Glasgow update for you this evening. Full update for Glastonbury Festival one last time this evening. Through into Monday, and then we're seeing low pressure becoming more generally widespread across the west of Europe. That takes us into Tuesday too. Low pressure is taking over the pattern, probably bringing quite a lot of heavy rain in from both the west and from the south too. So by the middle of next week, this sort's really unsettled then. Low pressure is sitting over the top of the country. A very, very different week next week compared to what we've had this week. And then that low pressure continues through into the remainder of June. So we go to day 10, which is, of course, Saturday the 1st of July. And yes, it's looking very unsettled here. Low pressure is still dominating, and the winds are coming in from the northern part of the Atlantic, so it's going to be cool, it's going to be windy, and it's going to be unsettled as we close out June and move into the very start of July. ECWF looks like this. So again, we've got the low pressure to the eastern side of Scotland on Sunday. Elsewhere, still a bit of high pressure in the south, trying to keep things mostly dry, but it looks like the days of that high pressure are numbered. By the time you get through to the start of next week, low pressure really is taking over with both the GFS and the ECM WF. They both look like they're turning really unsettled through to the middle part of next week, with showers or longer spells of rain and cool temperatures as well. And then we head off into the second half of next week, looking very unsettled. We go to day 10, which is the first day of July, Saturday the 1st of July. And it just looks very unsettled, very cool. The jet stream is on a southerly track, indicated by this black line just here. That's telling us where the jet stream is. So on the cool side of the jet stream, we've got this low pressure, and that just looks very cool, very showery as we close out June and move through into the beginning of July. And we'll just have a look at the Beijing Climate Centre for the next 40 days. So these are the 500 millibar height anomalies broken down into 10-day periods. The first 10-day period takes us from the 21st through to the 30th of June. Remember, this is transitional, so we're starting off as we are now with the heat wave, and it's turning more unsettled. So eventually we find the trough coming back from the north, and also the jet stream returning down across the country as well. Becomes cooler, becomes more unsettled as we head up to the end of June. Next 10-day period takes us from the 1st through to the 10th of July and looks very unsettled to the north. Lots of low pressure up there. The Azores high is down to the south, and that places us in this run of westerly winds. So again, this could be a little bit transitional. Maybe the first 5 days or so of July cool and unsettled, and then the second 10 days getting more of an influence from this ridge, perhaps turning things a little bit drier and warmer into the second week of July. Then we go through to the next 10-day period, which is the 11th through to the 20th of July, and the heights are rising in the central part of the Atlantic, and that area below average heights to the north, but low pressure, that's easing as well. So this looks like it's a case of high pressure starting to become more influential through to the middle part of July, compared to that unsettled interlude. And then we go up to the final 10 days, which is the 21st through to the 30th of July, and it looks like we're ridging high pressure through the country and sending it to the east as well. So after an unsettled start to July, I think we may find ourselves going back to high pressure fairly quickly, and actually it might turn out to be quite a warm and dryish sort of month. I don't think the signals are too bad at all from the Beijing Climate Centre for July. So although the trend for the next week to 10 days is to turn things increasingly cool and settled, looks like we could still be on course for a lot of dry and warm weather through the course of July. So don't necessarily be too worried about where the summer is going as we move through into July. But of course, these long-range models are always highly experimental, and they're not to be relied upon in the more immediate time frame. So the heat wave is peaking today, then tomorrow it'll start to cool down. We'll all be in a cooler air mass by the end of the week, and then as we head through into next week, increasingly cool and increasingly unsettled as we're moving through to the end of June and the start of July. Right, check out 5-day forecast if you haven't yet done so, and of course this evening we've got that final update, the last update for Glastonbury. That's all for now, thanks for watching.